So can we learn stuff from combat? Absolutely. Today's lesson is about how we take lessons learned from Special Operations Force medics about how they cover wounds that were packed and translate them into something that's pretty practical for both civilian and tactical operations. So when we talk about wound packing, and if we have a small hole that is going to be packed by, let's say, quick clot, we always teach that when you're done, you cover it with a pressure dressing. So whether you're using the Olace, the North American Rescue, or the Israeli dressing, it's important that you cover these wounds that are packed because you need to create that pressure around it. So traditionally we use pressure dressings. The issue with that is you now remove a really valuable piece of equipment from your gear or from your IFAK just to cover a wound that's actually probably the bleeding has already been controlled by the actual application of the packing. What you really need is just pressure to be maintained around it. So what we find in the special operations community is that they've been using wound packing with an ACE bandage. They pack the wound and then all they're looking for is pressure. So is there a simple concept to do that? Well, yes, you can use an ACE bandage, but what we want to show you today is this innovative product by Percy's Medical. We've been playing with these for a while now and love them. Why? It's because of the closure bar. The closure bar gives you this added benefit of applying a lot more pressure once you're done. So this is in essence a multi-tool. It can be used as just a elastic bandage around something that you've packed. It can be used as almost like a pressure bandage because you can use that closure bar to create more pressure. It can even be used to wrap a splint. So let's take a look at how we would use this in conjunction with packing a wound. So come on in. We'll use our typical quick clot. Again, we're packing the junction area here. We find the hole, the source of bleeding. We make a little ball, and then we're going to start packing this wound. Okay, so we've completed packing the wound. We can no longer put any of the product of the hemostatic gauze in. A lot of times, typically what we teach is just to leave it on top to create more pressure. If you are low on equipment and you have another wound you're looking to pack on this patient, you can certainly cut it, put it to the side in a clean area, and then use it somewhere else on that same patient. But for this application, we now need to cover this wound. So we said we can use a pressure dressing, right? But again, the disadvantage is we lose this valuable gear. Other option is now this new device that we want to show you. So I'm just going to move this for a second and we're going to pretend that it's right here. So I'm going to start with just applying pressure around the wound of where I packed. The benefit is this is elastic and it can give me a lot of added pressure. So I can go as tight as needed. Again, this could be used to splint around a SAM splint, or as a regular ACE bandage around an ankle, let's say, or it can be used in this configuration. So here's the advantage of the closure bar. Typically, if this is all the pressure I needed, I can just secure it in place. All that's actually required is one of the closure bars. But let's say I want to now create a lot more pressure on this injury. I like to go back one or two of these folds, so right around here, and I stick the closure bar around it like that. And now I can turn it and start increasing the amount of pressure in this dressing itself, in the elastic band. This is creating a lot of pressure, and that's the benefit of this closure bar. Simple added tool to increase pressure. How do I secure it? I'm just gonna put the closure bar on one side. If you need it to go to another, you can, no problem. But this is the elastic bandage, again made by Percy's. We'll be carrying this on our site, and you'll see some unique applications soon. Thanks again for watching. Let's continue to learn from our special operation forces so we can better be prepared in both civilian and other tactical operations. And as always, let's save lives together.